Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Quirky Cast. In case you forgot, I'm Indiana.
And I'm Teddie.
And happy December.
I'm so excited. I love December.
It's the first week of December. We are finally hopping in to all of the holiday festivities, and I cannot wait for this whole month.
Yes, I just want to get some Christmas sweaters and wear them every single day of my life.
I just went to the grocery store yesterday, and I already got the Christmas sugar cookies, so I'm so excited to bake those.
Okay, wait, the Christmas sugar cookies. So like the sugar cookies with like the little print on top?
Yes, exactly.
Where do you get those? So I go to Ralph's, but every single time I go, I can never find them.
Oh my gosh.
And I look every single time. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot or I'm just blind. But the Halloween and the Christmas ones, I look all the time and I can never find them.
I guess I did notice that. I just know my local grocery store, whenever you go to the actual cookie aisle, they're not there. Like they're not in the cookie aisle. They're in this little freezer type situation that's right next to the milks. I don't know how to describe it from like your store, but mine, there's like little coolers or freezers like in the walkways, I guess, in like the big aisles. And right in front of the milks, they're always there. They were there for the Halloween cookies. But I do remember going to the cookie section and they weren't there. So I also like understand that.
Okay.
Maybe you can find them.
That's where I always look for the cookie section. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I'll find some and I will join the Christmas spirit.
I just want to let you all know that since we've made this podcast, we've been holding all of our news just for the podcast episodes when we're recording. So Teddie has some huge news that I have been waiting to hear about, but we had to just wait until we're recording. So now that we're here, you want to tell me what happened?
Yes, so I'm a mom. Not in the way that you think. I adopted 2 little kittens. Mm-hmm. They're so cute. We have 1 boy, 1 girl. They're from the same litter. They're brothers and sisters. It's so cute. They literally lick each other and like cuddle with each other. Oh, yes. So the girl, her name is Nova. She's black with like white and orange in her. So I wanted to name her like Nova, like a supernova.
That's really cute.
And then Jamie named the boy and he named him Leo, or we call him Little Man.
Aww.
But they're so cute, but they are so much work. I literally have children. Everyone always says they're a lot of work. It's like it's an animal. You have to keep them alive. But I really didn't think it would be this hard. I've cried like every night, honestly. They're just babies, so they're learning how to use the litter box and how to pee on my bed and how to pee under Jamie's desk and how to pee everywhere else. But, you know, it's a learning process. But I've had them for a week exactly. And today there were no accidents. We got a second litter box. They're only in my room, but we put one under Jamie's desk and they're peeing and pooping in it.
Has there been anything that you weren't aware about before owning a cat? Anything that you've learned so far?
Well, I've never really taken care of a cat on my own. Mm-hmm. And we have a cat, but it's pretty much like an indoor-outdoor cat, pretty much does everything on its own. So I'm literally like, I have to do everything for these cats. They've also been like having TMI, but a little liquid stuff, you know. So I've been having to give them medicine twice a day also. So it's very like, I feel like I'm literally taking care of children. This is birth control, honestly. Sometimes I think about kids and I'm like, oh, they're cute. Like I can't wait for that day. But when I got these cats, I don't know. I don't need kids for another 10 years, honestly. These are my kids for now.
I know you've been sending me videos, or I've been seeing all these videos of them running around and like just having a like fun time. Yeah. I feel like you would literally lose them in your room also.
Yeah, definitely. I made sure I cleaned up everything. We kind of like put towels underneath my dresser and everything so they wouldn't go under. They still find a way to get under there, but that's pretty much the only thing that they get under. I haven't really, I guess, learned that much more. I just learned that it's a lot of work and now I wake up early. Like I wake up every day at like 8:30 or 9.
That's good.
I know, it's good, but then I'm literally like asleep by 10:30. Well, I go to sleep late, but I'm so tired all the time and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to lay down and I don't know, but I have to watch them so much. And they like to bite my computer. My screen. I have little bite marks.
Oh my god.
Like little like dents in my screen. They haven't cracked it. When they do, they're going back. Okay. I'm kidding. When they bite my computer and crack the screen, there will be an adoption paper that you guys can fill out.
Link in bio.
Just kidding. No, I will never take them back. But it's just a learning process and I really have to keep an eye on them at all times.
Listening to this, like I am not ready. Austin keeps sending me pictures of dogs and cats because we want like one of each, but we are like not right now because it's obviously so much work and I just don't want the responsibility at the moment.
Yeah. And I definitely think if you get like an older cat, like it doesn't have to be old, but like a year old, or they are potty trained, you know. It's just they're only like, I don't know how old they are, a few weeks, 5-8 weeks, I don't know, but they're just so young, so they're still learning, so it's just a lot with that. So did you do anything this week?
I did go to an event. It was cool. It was like a networking event for fashion and beauty and wellness. I took my mom as my +1 because we had the guest speaker that was there was Jenny Garth, who played Kelly on 90210.
Oh, okay.
Like the original series 90210. That's what my mom grew up on, and she absolutely loved it. I grew up on the reboot of the 90210, but I still am obsessed with the whole show. But my mom was so excited to see her. I actually have a really funny story too to go with that. My mom, as you've may heard in the past episodes, she loves having her celebrity interactions, and her goal tonight was to take a picture with her. We, unfortunately, our ticket option that we got didn't come with the meet and greet photo, which is whatever. Like, it's fine. We were able to listen to her. She like talked on the panel. It was really cool. And then after the panel was the meet and greet section. Every time I say meet and greet, I'm just triggered. Everyone's lined up waiting to take a picture with Jenny, and my mom happens to see somebody that she knows from high school that was just in the same room as her.
That's crazy.
And she was like, what? I didn't even remember that he was going to be here. So we went and talked to him. He happens to be very close friends with Jenny Garth, who was the celebrity person at the time there. And he was like, hey, do you want a picture with her? Do you want a picture? And she's like, oh no. And he asked like a couple times, and I was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving you the out, like, just go. So then she's like, oh, okay, I'll just do it. Everybody is lined up on the stage to take a picture with her, and they all have wristbands that are for meet and greets, while my mom does not have a wristband, and she's the last person in the line, and they're being pushed against the stage, being like, hey, you're next, go. And she's next to go. And I felt so embarrassed because the people who emailed me to let us go to this event were on stage, and they were like, no, you can't, you don't have a wristband. Like, they were like, no. And then the guy's like, yes, go. And it was a back and forth thing of like, not like fighting, but she was like, do I go? Can I not? I don't want to get in trouble.
Gosh.
And I'm standing there being like, I'm never going to get invited to an event ever again.
Oh, that's funny.
The guy, I guess, had some leeway, and they listened to him, and she got to take the picture.
Wow.
And I guess it all worked out.
That's cool. That's exciting. But that's like such a small world that someone that she went to high school with was just there.
Yeah.
And knew her.
She also knows literally everybody. So it's like insane. But I also want to just give a little mention that I had to leave the event early. I wanted to say they had a fashion show at the very end of the night, which was what I was there for. I wanted to go see the fashion show. I was so excited. And obviously I'm so grateful to be invited to this event. I've gone to just a little few in my life of being in this industry. And in the past events, there has like always been amazing food and like an array of like hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. So obviously with this being a 8-hour event,
8 hours?
8-hour events, I was like, oh, I cannot wait to see what kind of food they have. I'm not going to eat before, because like the past events had amazing food trucks. Like the one that we went to had such an amazing food truck, and other places just had like really cool snacks. I love seeing the event coordination and seeing like what people can come up with and like decorate with. So I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to go to LA. I'm just going to eat when I get there. Right when I arrived, they were like, here you go. Here's your ticket. Oh, if you want any snacks, they're going to be on that table right there. I'm like, great. I'm going to walk over to the table. I see a granola bar. Yep, granola bar. And what's with it? A Slim Jim. And I don't eat meat, so I was like, I'll just use the granola bar, but I can't wait to see what they get inside.
Yeah.
I go inside, and there's nothing besides just waters. And so the fact that I didn't eat anything the whole entire day, and I had just one granola bar for 8 hours, I was like, yo, I have to leave. I was actually like shaking, and I felt like I was gonna faint. So after this whole incident, I guess I now know for next time, always eat before you go anywhere. And that goes for anything, honestly, because you never know what they're gonna have, especially when you have restrictions like
you
me.
never know when your last meal's gonna be. So I have been scrolling on TikTok a lot recently, and I have been seeing you on live streaming Fortnite. How is that going?
It's been pretty fun. I now have my little audience that just comes and hangs out with me. Normally, I would just be playing Fortnite like all the time by myself. And I feel like now being able to stream it's been really fun to have, you're like hanging out with people as you're playing.
Like with the guest interactions and everything.
And also because before I would always just play solo. And so now I have my viewers can just hop in a game with with me. We can play squads, and it's been really entertaining. And it's like now I have a group of people I can play with. I don't know, it's just been fun and entertaining, and it's something I look forward to every night. I will say that if you guys don't care about Fortnite or video games, you can just scroll past like the next minute or so. I just have to little rant this a little bit. Fortnite just had their end of season event that happened this past weekend, and they've been hyping it up on Twitter. The whole community has been like, this is going to be the most insane event that we've ever had in their entire life. Basically what this event is that they have an in-game concert. And so in the past, they had Ariana Grande perform, and so they'll have like an avatar of her performing, and everybody around can just listen to her. Like, it's honestly really entertaining for being in a video game. This event though was the Eminem concert, which was very hyped up, and me and Austin and all of our other like roommates and our friends have been so hyped up ready for this event. And we were telling all of our audience, we were like, hey, we're gonna stream this, like we're so excited. And the one thing too is that when there's something new happening for Fortnite, your viewership on your lives are gonna go up insane because everybody wants to watch.
Really?
And I will say this as an example, is that Ninja went live, and I don't know if you know who he is. He's like the #1 Fortnite streamer. That's how he like, blew up. He normally, I watch his lives every day because he streams every day. He normally has maybe about like 10K people, 20K. Like, that's a lot. This one day, this event, he had 200,000 people watching his TikTok live, and he had 400,000 people watching his Twitch stream. So he had 600,000 people watching him, which is insane.
That is insane.
So I was like, I'm so excited. I'm going to stream. I'm going to get my viewers up. I was literally so excited for this. The day comes, Saturday comes. We kind of just had a slow morning. We wanted to take our time, eat our breakfast, get our coffees, whatever. That way we can be about 30 minutes into the game before it starts. So that way we are there and we're ready. We thought we were going to be early.
Yeah.
We go on to Fortnite. We press the game, and it tells me you are queued in for 1 hour. And I'm watching the clock count down, and I'm like, 1 hour, like that's gonna be past the event. World huge event that I was so excited for, and this is going to be like a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah.
And there goes my stream. I have nothing to watch. I can't stream for people to watch. I'm a fan of Fortnite, and I've been so excited to watch this, especially for my first time. I still got to see other people watch it, but I wanted to be immersed into it for like myself. Fortnite was not aware of their huge viewership that was going to come to this event because they hyped it up so much. Normally when I play Fortnite, it shows you how many viewers are on live. Normally it's about 1 million people are playing the battle royale builds, and about like 500,400,000 are playing zero builds. Those are the two like game options, along with so much more. But those are the two huge ones. Apparently we broke the hugest record that they were not aware of. They did not think this many people were going to come onto the server sites, and that's why they had to shut down the sites for everybody else. So if you got in it, congratulations to you. My roommate Tanner got in it, so we got to watch his stream. 11 million people were trying to watch this event at the exact same time.
That's insane.
And only probably 1 million people got to see it.
Wow. I didn't even hear about it.
Enough of all that talk, but speaking of Battle Royale, I rewatched all of the Hunger Games movies. Wow. I am so into that whole genre and that whole lifetime at the moment since the new Hunger Games movie just came out, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That movie was so good. After rewatching all of the movies pretty much in a row, I did it within like a span of like 2 or 3 days. This new movie that just came out in theaters is 10 times better than all the old Hunger Games movies.
Really?
It is so good, and I love all the cast that's in it. Like Rachel Zegler, that was my first time ever seeing her in a movie, and I know she's getting a lot of heat right now from all the Snow White situations. She was absolutely amazing.
Really?
And I've seen so many people are like, we don't care about her interviews anymore after seeing this movie. Like, everybody's obsessed with her now. I think she did so good. She has a beautiful, amazing voice. Also, the actor President Snow, Tom Blythe, is beautiful. He's one of my new obsessions at the moment. I feel like you would really enjoy those movies.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch it. I want to.
Just a little rundown if you didn't know what the movie was about. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. Basically, we know it's the origin story of President Snow. And we know in the new Hunger Game movies, or like the old ones, I guess, that President Snow is like this bad, evil character. So seeing his origin story of how he turns into being this evil character is so good. And I think that's why I love the prequels of Star Wars, because you know Darth Vader is a bad guy, and you know Anakin eventually is going to turn into this Darth Vader character. And it's just so cool seeing like them switch and their mindset go from being like this nice kid or whatever to wanting to rule over everybody. And it's like really insane, and it was an amazing story.
I've been seeing a lot of good reviews about it, and I need to watch it. But if you want to watch it again, we can go watch it. I don't know if Jamie will want to watch it.
I'm actually so down, but let me tell you, is it okay that it's a 3-hour movie?
Yeah, I don't care. I sat at a 3.5 hour long Taylor Swift concert. So speaking of that, did you see, I don't even know what it was. It was like some kind of event, but Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter were together. They got a picture together. I don't know what event it was, but then they also did Jingle Ball together as well. Okay. So there were two different things, but the picture of them together, I was like, oh, that's cute. Like it looked like they were like actually friends.
Yeah. I thought it was so interesting how at Jingle Ball, they both were performing their songs, which are diss tracks about each other. And I was like, that is so iconic and that's so cool.
I know.
And I just wonder how they felt singing to each other, like knowing they're there in the audience hearing.
Yeah. But I wonder like if they're past it and they're friends now, like they probably laugh about it now.
Yeah.
But they both looked so good and sounded so good. Their outfits so cute.
That's so funny that you brought that up because I had something about Sabrina Carpenter that was in the news. So if you guys haven't seen, she has her beautiful, amazing music video, Feather, that just came out a little bit ago.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard all of the drama.
Okay, so I watched it right when it first came out because I love her. She also had a little star appearance in there. His name's Milo. He's from like a lot of the Disney movies situation. Like now he's in Zombies. He's in a few other things, but he's like one of the It Boy Disney characters at the moment. But basically in this music video, it was about her, I guess, unaliving these boys because the song goes that she's light as a feather with them off her mind. So she's kind of unaliving them in these scenes. And after doing such act, she's now seen dancing in a cute, adorable dress in a church, which I was like, that's iconic. Like that was so sick. She's just an icon. I absolutely love her. Yeah. Okay, so all that happens. I didn't think twice about it. I was like, oh, it's a music video. So it happens to be where the church was unaware of her doing this music video of these actions or whatever, like what her theme was going to be about. They are now revolting and have fired the priest who allowed her to do this music video.
Whoa, I didn't see any of that.
You didn't see that?
I just saw that they were like, everyone's been asking her like about how she did it in a Catholic church and all of that.
But yeah, the church apparently is really upset about this whole situation. In my mind, I'm like, if you let her do this music video, why wouldn't you do research of who she was or even ask her if it was really that important? Why wouldn't you ask her what your theme's going to be, what you're going to be filming in here, all that sort of stuff? But I wanted to bring up what her statement was because she just released a statement. And when I read this, I literally gagged. I was like, this is why I love her so much. Her statement, let me just read it for you. Okay, she said, "We got an approval in advance. And Jesus was a carpenter."
That's so funny.
It's giving Justin Bieber going to the Anne Frank house saying she was a believer.
Slay.
I was like, yes, that is the only comment I want to see. That was so good.
That's so funny because it's so funny because she's like so unserious about it, but she's like, you want me to address it? Here it is. I will address it. Okay, so I've been watching some movies recently, some old movies, some like Disney movies, you know? And one movie that I just watched was High School Musical, the first one. I mean, like, I've already seen it.
Oh,
but
I was like, excuse me.
No. I just rewatched it because I was trying to find something to watch and I was like, oh, High School Musical. But I feel like no one really talks about this, or I guess it's such an old movie, so no one does. But I saw a TikTok today, which I already knew this, but someone was like, oh, I'm 30 years old and I just found out that Drew Seeley sang for Zac Efron. And I think it was only for the first movie or something like that. But I saw that and I was reading all the comments and everyone was like, what? Like Drew Seeley sang? Like nobody knew.
Really?
Yeah. But I was like, that's weird. Like I feel like everyone knew that. And then I saw another clip of Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. She has a podcast, or maybe she was on one. And she was saying something about how Drew Seeley was supposed to be in something else and he unfortunately like didn't get his big break, but he did all of this stuff for all of these other people. But he's like no one now. And isn't that so crazy? And he's decent looking too. But they chose Zac Efron to be the face and he couldn't sing.
Yeah.
And they chose him to sing. That's so weird.
I have a story from the time I found out that it was Drew Seeley. I'm so excited to say this. Back when High School Musical came out, the first one, they had their little High School Musical tour where they had a concert and they went around the states. And of course, your girl had to go.
That's so cool.
I went to the concert. I don't
remember hearing about that.
I went to the concert. I remember the whole cast comes out and tell me why there was this random dude with all of them. Literally Vanessa Hudgens singing, Ashley Tisdale singing. Yeah. And then we have this random Troy lookalike that I was like, who is this man? And it was Drew Seeley. And that was the first time I found out that he actually sings. And that's why Zac Efron was not there for the tour, for the concert, because he couldn't sing at the time.
That's insane.
And I was like, I've been lied to. It was shocking as a
You're
little
like,
kid.
this is what Zac Efron looks like in real life?
I remember being like, Mom, who is that? Like, what is he doing up there?
I have like two things, but so, okay, back to the High School Musical thing. I also saw this really funny TikTok and it was about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Sorry, everyone. I'm not going to stop talking about them. But it was like in 2043, their son is going to have to choose between going to college for football or signing a record deal.
I've seen those. I love all the memes and those are really funny.
And then I have one other thing, back to the Drew Seeley thing. After I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, he was in another Cinderella story. And I love that one, that with Selena Gomez. And then I was thinking and I was like, I wonder what Indiana's favorite Cinderella movie is. Like, you know, those remakes, like A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff, another Cinderella story with Selena Gomez, Cinderella with Camila Cabello. I don't know if that, I know, I looked it up. And then there's one with Lucy Hale, which I have never seen the Lucy Hale one.
I've never heard of those two ones. I just know of the Hilary Duff one and the Selena Gomez one.
Okay, so out of those two, because those are the only two that I've seen also, which one do you like better?
I'm just trying to give a little recap because I can't really quite remember the movies. So Selena Gomez, the one with Drew Seeley, was more about like dancing and singing. It was a different style of the Cinderella story. Yeah. And then the Hilary Duff one is more of the typical Cinderella story. She does go to the ball and she does have Jennifer Coolidge as her evil stepmother, which I love Jennifer Coolidge and her role in that was so good. But yeah, I don't really know. I honestly love them both. I feel like I have watched the one with Hilary Duff a lot more though.
Yeah, me too.
So I think I would go with that one.
Okay. See, I'm thinking that too. I feel like I've watched that one a lot more. But when I'm thinking about it right now, I'm like, I just want to watch the Selena Gomez one right now.
Let's go back to High School Musical though, because I did want to bring something up, especially with you just rewatching it. And those of you at home, if you could remember back to the movies, we have the character Sharpay, who is set out to be the bad girl character, the evil one, the one that wants Troy taken away from Gabriella, blah, blah, blah. I've looked at it from watching those movies to where I love Sharpay. And I've seen a post recently of people saying that we've been watching these shows, these movies, all wrong and thinking that Sharpay is this bad character. People are saying that the real evil person in there was Gabriella. Because when you think about the past movies, Gabriella's always the one that wants to run away from Troy and she's always like, gotta go my own way. While Sharpay has always just wanted to get the best for Troy. And I'm thinking specifically about High School Musical 2 when she's bringing in these like basketball companies or whatever coming to draft him, and Gabriella is like, you just missed my date and now I'm gonna leave after he has one incident.
I don't know, it's just a high school relationship. Honestly, growing up I was always like, just let Gabriella be happy with Troy. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, like Gabriella's like a pick-me. She
literally anytime there was an incident, she would just leave.
I think she wanted, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I think she wanted him to choose her 100%. But they're in high school, they're looking at colleges and stuff.
Even thinking of the second movie for the college situation, all of his friends were like, you're not gonna hang with us, you're gonna hang with these new college people. It's like, what do you want him to do? He's gonna get college for free. Going off my little hater rants that I'm having right now, we're back to that time of the year where I've been seeing everybody posting their Spotify Wrapped. And I'm sitting here as an Apple Music user who cannot get in on any of the fun.
Can't relate.
Every year around this time when I see everybody posting their Wrapped, I'm like, wow, this is going to be the year that I'm going to listen to Spotify. But I just can't do it. I just like Apple Music so much better.
Really?
I don't know why. It's just like, it's easier for my brain to use.
Whenever, like, I guess this hasn't happened in a while, but like when we're driving in your car and if I like change the song or something, I have no idea how to use Apple Music.
You know what I actually am thinking in my brain right now? I think it's because Spotify's app itself is dark mode. Like, you know how people can change their Instagram to dark mode or whatever? And Apple is light. It's all white screens. And I despise dark mode.
Yeah, me too.
So much. Since we're on this little topic, who is your number one artist?
You know, big surprise, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was my number one artist.
Mine, which I was kind of surprised about, which not that it's like a bad thing. It was Olivia Rodrigo, which I absolutely love her. But I also am thinking, I can't even remember the last time I listened to music. I feel like that was all just from when her newest album just came out. And so I was on repeat with it. I was comparing my list because Apple does have a list. It's just not cute. But I was comparing my list to like other people's. I only had 2,000 minutes listened. While when I was looking at other people, like my brother had 50,000 minutes listened. I am now realizing I just don't listen to music. I just only listen to podcasts. But speaking of my brother, his number one artist on Spotify was Kali Uchis. He called me with some news that apparently he was in like the top number percentage of her listeners to where she gave him a personal video message.
I got one too from Taylor Swift.
No dang.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so because I was confused. I didn't know if this was something they normally do.
I think they do normally do that, but I was thinking maybe it was just for Taylor Swift because like she's so big right now. Yeah, I don't think that I've gotten one for years before, but like Black Bear, I'm usually always in his top. It's like 0.05%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Taylor Swift, I was in her top. It wasn't that low. I think it might have been like 4% or something like that. But yeah, I got the little video.
Okay.
I've just been thinking a lot, and I am just like so awkward. And
Same.
so cringy, so embarrassing, you know, just all of the above. I had a couple of stories I wanted to share.
Okay.
I might cry. Okay, so this first one, this happened to me like a couple of weeks ago. I went to my local film store and I was developing some film, but I was developing it for a friend. We went to Vegas. You know, I don't know what kind of pictures are on there. Okay. You know, you fill out your name, they're writing it down, they put it in, and this person goes, "I follow you on Instagram. I love your work." And I say, "Who, me?" As they're talking to me. Who, me? Who? The air behind me? The film camera right there? Who are you talking to? And they're like, yeah, like I follow you on Instagram and the store follows you on Instagram. Like we love your work, all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Like my brain short circuits when stuff like that happens. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I could have been like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, I could have been so cool about it, you know? But I was like, "Who, me? Thanks." And then I'm like standing there and they're like putting it all in. And I'm like, do I explain to them that this isn't my work? Because they're going to develop it and then they send me a link. So they're going to see all the pictures.
Oh, wow.
I didn't say anything, but I almost did a little over explaining like you did with your tummy issues.
Yeah.
But I was like, do I say something? And I think that they said something like, "Can't wait to see like your work," or something like that. And I was like, thanks. But I don't know, that just like, that was something that I thought about for like hours, days. And I'm still thinking about it because it was so cringy. You know what I just remembered also? This was a few years ago, which I feel like this wasn't as bad, but it's kind of, honestly, if you look at it, it's kind of cool, but it was kind of embarrassing. But we were at work one day and someone came up and we're like cashiers. And this person came up and they were like, "Are you Teddie Hart Photography?" I was like, I'm famous. But I was like, yeah. And they're like, "I follow you on Instagram. Like, I love your photos," which like is really cool if you think about it. But I'm standing back here behind a pizza counter, like
sweating.
Yeah. I'm like looking like this. And they're like, "Are you Teddie Hart Photography?" I'm like, "Yeah, you want an autograph?"
Do you want a picture?
I just had to bring that up.
No, that's good. Going back to the film place, that's like our favorite place to get our film developed.
Yeah.
So you are going to be going back for sure. And like hoping that you probably don't run back into the same person.
I know, because like, and they're probably looking at this like, "Oh, like what's this? Like, we're in the club at Vegas." Like,
did you end up seeing what was in the photos?
You know, I did, but I think it was just, we went to the club. There was some pictures of that. There was definitely some pictures of us like in the room, like shaking our butts or something. I don't know. I don't remember, but at least there wasn't anything like too bad.
Yeah. Like on your 21st birthday.
Yeah. That was crazy. This is like a little off topic. That was one of my favorite things. Like whenever I have a party, I'm going to do that. I got like maybe 6 disposable cameras, put them in a little box, and I had like a little note that said, "Take pictures. I'm going to develop these." But there was probably like 200 photos and everyone just took pictures. It was my 21st birthday. I was like on the ground crying. I was literally crying on the ground. My dad dropped my birthday cake.
I was gonna say that. That's so funny.
But the story behind this, I guess I'm just gonna say this too. This was so funny. I wanted a red velvet cake with some like roses on it. And my dad went to the store and he said that when he picked it up, one of the roses was like smeared. So he made such a big deal. He was like, "I'm not gonna take this home for my daughter's birthday." And they said something like, "Oh, the baker already left." And my dad was like, "Well, I'm not gonna pay for this. Like, it's damaged."
Yeah.
Like, so then someone else tried to go in. They made a flower. My dad comes home, tells me the whole story. And then it's my birthday and he's holding it. We're singing happy birthday. He walks it back to the counter and it just slides off. And it's like literally vertical up against a tequila bottle.
Yeah, so it was attached to the tequila bottle. And I remember all of us laughing so hard. And somebody got it on video. Like, we had the video.
Got it, the disposable camera. Yeah.
Oh.
When I saw it, I was on the floor crying. Not because I was like sad, but it was like the funniest thing. In that moment, I was like, this is your karma for making such a big deal. And it's ruined and no one can eat it now. But that was so funny.
Speaking of being recognized from us doing social media, I went to a Harry Styles concert, and at this time I was doing a lot of content that involved Harry Styles. So I would do like styling videos with his music in the background, or styling outfits to different types of his songs, all this sort of stuff. I'm at this concert and I'm so excited. I am taking like pictures in front of the venue. I don't know what you call it, like the signs and stuff like that. And this was my very first time that I had a group of girls come up to me and they were like, I follow you on TikTok, like I've seen your videos.
That's insane.
And that was the first time I've ever gotten that, which is amazing. I was so awkward. I didn't know what to say. And I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, and I didn't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
So I was like, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you. Like, I'm a freaking celebrity. Like, do you want a picture? Do you want my autograph?
Nice meeting you guys.
I was so awkward. And I'm like, why did I say that? Like, I should have been like, oh, like, I'm so excited for the concert. Like, I can't have a conversation at all.
No, I can't either.
We're walking into the venue and I'm just trying to find what section I'm at. And I have somebody else is like, I've seen you on TikTok, like, whatever, like, coming up to me. And I was
so
like,
cool.
oh, hi. Like, I was just so shocked and caught off guard.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because this is the demographic of my page. And especially with all these videos going viral for Harry Styles, we're all here for Harry Styles. I guess it makes sense. And then I had one more interaction where I was sitting at my seat. I was sitting watching the concert and I had somebody tap me on my shoulder and I turn around and she was like, are you the girl that has the feather cuffs on your videos?
Oh,
like I got caught off guard. It was so
okay, Miss Famous Popular Girl. Okay,
it's honestly so cool. Like, this was an absolute dream for me. Like, when I was little, being in the moment, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
and I don't even know how celebrity interactions. Whenever you see like interviews or people meeting people, I feel so awkward because I don't think I could ever do that.
They probably have like training.
Yeah,
like where like they have to learn how to respond to people.
Yeah,
because that's like, what do you say? Like, because you're just going about your day, not thinking about anything, and then someone drops you with that.
And I have another one to go along with us being in the industry. Since I do social media, I do content and videos for brands, and sometimes I need to go on like a little shopping spree because I'm gonna do videos with these items, whatever. So I went to this store that I worked with and I had to create like a numerous number of outfits, different styles, all this sort of stuff. I spent about, I would say, 2 to 3 hours in this store just trying to fill up my cart, trying to get the ideas going. I typically am the type of person that I have to see the things. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I'm a visual person, so I have to see it. So I couldn't really think of the ideas beforehand. I had to go to the store. I had to see the clothing pieces. I had to see the items for myself. Spent about 2 to 3 hours there, which is fine. Like, that's fun for me. I love that. I'm checking out at the checkout station, and one of the workers comes up to me and was like, what are you doing with all this stuff? Like, you've been here for so long. Like, what are you doing here?
Like, they're like watching you.
Yeah, literally. It is like a smaller store, so I get it. And I get it too because he was like wanting to make a conversation. Like, he's probably interested because I was running around. I'm also stressing because I want to be done as soon as I can, but I also want it to be perfect and I want to make sure I'm getting the best items. But yeah, so this guy's asking me, he's like, what are you doing with like all this stuff? Like, why are you here for so long? And I'm like, and around this time, you don't know if you want to lie.
Yeah.
Or if you want to tell the truth. And I was like, oh, I'm making like a brand video for this store. I don't know why I said that. I should have lied. And he was like, oh, really? He's like, oh, like on what? And I'm like, oh, it's like a TikTok video. And he's like, oh, you have TikTok? Really? He's like, how many followers do you have? When anybody asks you that question, it just sounds so weird to say.
Like it's like, how much money do you make?
Yeah. And like, obviously I'm so proud to like be where I'm at, but also I'm like, it's so awkward. Yeah. So I'm just like, 50,000. I don't know why that just sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds like I'm bragging or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, 50,000. And he's like, wow, you have a lot. He was like, I just made TikTok, like I have like 100 followers, like whatever. I'm like, go you, like good job.
Yeah.
And so then he hits me. He was like, oh, what's your username? Like, can I follow you? I love having a girl audience. Obviously, I love everybody. But, you know, I am wearing my outfits. I am spinning around, turning around, being just a silly little goofy girl. Quirky girl, you can say. I told this man, I said, actually, my audience is actually for, like, younger girls. I said, it's actually for younger girls, because I didn't want this like middle-aged man to follow my account. Yeah. And I felt so awkward because I guess I technically called him old. And he was like, oh, okay. No, I get it. I just didn't really want him. I mean,
and it makes sense. But I just think like it is really awkward to like say something like that to someone, but
I just felt so awkward. And so I have not been to the store since. And I will say that we had to go to the store to get some items, and I had Teddie go and pick up the items because I did not want to go.
Wait, where are we talking about? Oh, I was like, where did I go and pick up items from? This story to me is like the worst thing that has ever happened to me, which like it's, when you look at it, it's not that bad. This happened like 5 years ago, honestly. This is like the cringiest thing ever. The cringiest. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna go into it. It's kind of a short story. So I'm a photographer. My voice is like shaking.
I'm so excited to
I'm
hear
a photographer. And you know, I take pictures of a lot of people. Some people like to do different poses, different things. Some people do have their signature pose, okay? That I know. I know they have their signature pose, okay? And, you know, I'm taking pictures of this person one day. The way that I'm, like, about to, like, pee myself, which I feel like when I say it, everyone's going to be like, huh? Like, okay. So I'm taking pictures of this person. And, you know, I'm looking through my little viewfinder. Can't really see much. That's all I'm seeing. And this person to the camera does their signature pose. And they go like that.
Okay. I'm so scared.
And you know what I do? I stick my head. Because I've seen pictures. You know, there's like a couple pictures.
Like you grab their hand.
I'm crying. Did I ever tell you this story?
I think I remember.
So this person, they do a signature pose where they kind of like do this. And sometimes the picture is holding hands with the other person on the other side. There's like a sunset behind this person, and I stuck my hand out and I grabbed their hand, and I was like, it was just like my first instinct to do that. I don't know why. And I did that. And then I like cringed for a second. Well, I cringed for 5 years, but I like took a few pictures, and then I was like, and then I stopped. We took other pictures after that. But that, I don't know if you felt the cringe.
Kind of, but okay, wait. I want to know what they did when you grabbed their hand. Were they like, oh no, I didn't mean that?
No. They didn't really do anything.
They just took the pictures.
They just did it. They just, I don't know. Yeah, they just did it. I went with it, and then they went with it.
I feel like it's not that bad, but I also understand. It's like when somebody's trying to give you a handshake and you go for a high five. It's like one of those little awkward moments.
Or you think someone's going in for a hug and they give you a high five.
Yeah, those are awkward too. But that's a good one.
No, I know. And I know it doesn't sound that bad, but it was literally like they stuck their hand out and I grabbed their hand. Like I thought, like, it's not like they were like, oh, I want to do a picture with like holding a hand where it looks like I'm holding someone's hand. Yeah. Like, no, I took the initiative and I put my hand right there and I held their hand.
Wait, can you tell me who this is?
I mean, I don't think that they'll ever watch this, but it was...
That's what I figured. That's what I assumed.
But like, you know, like those poses and stuff. But I just, I think about it to this day. And I told myself I would never tell anyone because of the trauma that it has given me. Deep inside, my heart's like racing. I don't know. I just think that's like my most embarrassing moment.
From an outer perspective, I feel like it's not that bad. Like, I don't think you need to worry about that much. But I also understand because I cringe on every single thing. So like I understand from that point of view being like, oh, it hurts me to my core.
Yeah.
I have a story that I just thought of that I guess isn't necessarily cringy. It's more embarrassing. Let's travel back in time to our middle school years. We were getting ready for our middle school graduation. It was this huge big thing that everybody was so excited for. And we would do a lot of like rehearsals where the whole entire graduation class would pretty much practice getting your diploma on stage, walking off the stage, sitting down, kind of just knowing your cues and your marks and where to go. I remember that one of these rehearsals we were doing, it was when they were actually announcing our names. They had little cue cards where you give them like the card, they would read off your name, you would go and get your diploma, you would walk off. And this was in front of our whole entire class. These were all my friends. And it was my time to walk up. We go in alphabetical order. And so I'm in the B's because my last name's Bose. And I give them my card. And this teacher that was reading it off for the rehearsals happened to be a teacher that like I didn't really love. Wasn't my favorite teacher. And I give her my cue card. I'm waiting for her to announce my name in front of all of my friends. She goes, Indiana Jones. And I'm looking at her being like, you know what my name is. You did not just do that in front of the whole entire school. Imagine being a middle schooler who like wants to be cool, and everybody, the whole auditorium was laughing at me. I was triggered, and I was even more scared for the actual graduation for her to see like what she would do. And so back to like thinking about it now, I don't know if she was kidding. I don't know if she was trying to be funny. I don't know if she was like serious and actually made this mistake, because you get it, like Indiana Jones, like whatever. But like, I don't know, when we actually had the graduation, I was clenching. I was like, come on, please say my name right. Like, please don't do this in front of everybody. And I don't know, I just always think about that as an embarrassing moment back in middle school.
So did she say it right?
I'm assuming she did. I honestly can't remember. It's always the cringy things that you remember, and you can't remember like the actual good things in your life.
I feel like if she said it right at the graduation, maybe she was just like, oh, let me make a joke like in front of everyone.
But like, that's not funny. You don't do that.
Well, it's funny when you say it at Disneyland when they ask for your name.
Well, so yeah, now to this day, I guess with that reference, now to this day, because like my name, which I love my name does sound like other names sometimes when like the barista's like, what's your name? I'll be like, oh, Indiana. And sometimes it'll be like Deanna, Anna, blah, blah, blah. So every time now, it's just a thing that I always say. I'm like, oh, Indiana, like the state. Okay, so that's like what I say. But at Disneyland, I'll be like, Indiana, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, I love that.
Yeah. I do that all the time too, because no one can ever understand my name. Like I always say Teddie, like the bear.
Yeah.
I remember I was serving someone recently, and you know, I started, I'm like, hello, welcome in. My name's Teddie. I'll be your server. And they were like, what's your name? I'm like, Teddie, like the bear. They said something where they were like, oh, do you get made fun of a lot? I was like, oh, no. And they're like, no one like makes fun of you or like gives you nicknames. I'm like, well, I don't know. Like some people might call me Teddy Bear or like Ted. And I was like, no, like I like my name. Like it's nice. And they're like, oh, okay. Cool.
Like they were trying to bash your name.
Yeah.
Excuse me, like, sir, what is your name?
Yeah. I was like, I think Teddy's a pretty cool name. Like,
I think it's sick.
Like people might say Teddy Bear, but I don't think that's like making fun of in any way. But yeah, that just reminded me of that.
And even like with the Indiana Jones, like I don't think that's really something, I don't really care. It's not like a make fun of situation, but in that case, in front of everybody,
and you're so young, and you're like literally all of your peers are out there, and
it was a core memory for sure.
Well, that is going to be it for this week's episode. Thank you all for listening. Sorry we just like rambled on and talked about nonsense, but I'm sure we have a lot more cringy stories. Those were just the only ones I could think of right now. I think I bury them all deep down inside, so I never have to think about them again besides that one.
Yeah, we push that one all the way down.
Yeah. Happy December. We will see you all next week, and we are
the Quirky Cast. Bye.